Alright, more questions. Faulkner asks, what can change the nature of a man? This is a question that is asked in the role-playing game Planescape Torment. Um, and it's a obscure question that I'm not going to give that much attention to because it's more to do with like the game. I don't think you're really asking it to me. You're just asking it because it's like, oh, it was part of the game and it's a good question I'm going to ask you. So I'm going to answer what I answered in the game because you only have like a set choice. You know, there's love, greed, uh, and other ones, and I picked regret. So I'm going to say, what can change the nature of a man? Regret. Wowlich asks, what is your favourite dish? I like the blue one, but I'm assuming that you mean the food. What's my favourite meal? My favourite meal is a medium rare steak, probably sirloin, um, with like big mushrooms and tomatoes and big chunky homemade chips with a pint of Guinness, and that is my favourite meal. At a pub meal with steak and Guinness, steak and a pint of Guinness. Oh, I could like eat that all day. I could live off that. That'd be like my ideal just diet. That's what I want. Yeah. So there you go. Pretty much steak and chips with Guinness is my favourite food. Um, this name is unpronounceable. Grrymjo. Guillermo asks, "Can I buy a house in Yorkshire for £20,000? Considering that I rent the house and it isn't even mine, go right ahead. I will take your £20,000 and you can have it, even though it wouldn't actually be yours. But you won't see me for dust, mate." Barax the Insane, who actually bought me Dark Messiah. Thanks very much. Who or what inspired you to start Let's Playing? It was the fact that when I started LPing, there was only one Baldur's Gate LP out there, and it was by Necroscope86, and that was on Vidler. And I thought, right, well, I reckon I can do this. You know, I know the game pretty well. When I started, I was terrified. I was nervous as hell. If you watch my first Baldur's Gate 2 video, it's awful. I look back at that and I regret kind of doing it now because that thing's got like 26,000 views now of me just going, "I'm so scared, I don't really want to talk." And I didn't realize it would be that popular, but yeah, at that point there was only one out there, and I thought, well, this game deserves more, so I did one. I did it and finished it, which was good, and did Throne of Bile and finished that as well. Now there's loads. I mean, I'm really encouraged that there's so many people. Like there's suddenly like an influx of people playing Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. That it's really encouraging that people actually play the game because at the time, 2 years ago, well, a year and a half ago, there really wasn't anyone playing Baldur's Gate on YouTube, but now there's lots of us. So that's good. I kind of want to think that I had a hand in it. I do. Maybe it's true or not, but it's just a little. Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I inspired some people to start their own. My name is Lot Lily. Also, I know like encourages a lot of people, new people to start their own. So he's probably more of the hub of Baldur's Gate Let's Plays than me. But maybe I just had a little influence to some people. Be nice. What is your real name? Poundsing Films. Yeah, 16 thumbs up at the point of this video. What is my real name? Well, if you were a real fan, you listening to this, you would already know. Because I've mentioned my real name in at least 3 videos. I mentioned it early in my Baldur's Gate 2 Let's Play. I mentioned it in BloodRayne, and I mentioned it in Deus Ex, and I briefly in the other 2. My real name is John. There you go. Now you can all stop asking. Masajido asks, how long is your penis? Come on, dude. It's huge. I mean, my pants, my trousers, they need 3 legs. I mean, come on. What did you expect me to say? Professor Poning3 asks, what is your actual job besides best LP ever, and what would be your dream job? My job is I'm a manual labor lackey. I work in a warehouse sending out telecommunications devices to people. That's what I do. It's a good job, you know, pays the bills. It's quite easy. It's good. Have a good laugh with the lads there. It's not a bad place to work at all. Um, so yeah, I do quite enjoy it. My dream job. Well, that's the thing. That's why I've ended up in a warehouse, because I never knew what I wanted to do, and I don't know what I want to do. Um, there was a time when I went to see a careers advisor at school, like they bring careers advisors in, and at the time, and this is still true as well. I was writing stories, and I was like, I want to do creative writing at university, and she was like, right. Sort of looked over her glasses at me and said, well, you could do that, or you could do something more academic. And so I ended doing science, and I regret listening to her. And my advice for anyone is to do what you want to do and don't you listen to anyone else. Because, yeah, I ended up doing science, and I could do it. I could do it. But, uh, yeah, and I got a degree in environmental science, but I would rather have had a degree in creative writing. And I think I would have benefited more from that, even if not academically, than as a person, than getting something in a degree that I was sort of pushed into doing because it was probably better for the, widely speaking, that I do that because it would make me look smarter. But you do what you want to do. That's what I'm going to say. But my dream job, well, I guess then, my dream job would be a writer. But my writing is sporadic at best. Like I'll write a load of stuff and then I'll do nothing for months, and then I'll suddenly like churn out loads of stuff again, and then it comes in floods. And there's a drought and there's a flood of writing. But yeah, probably a writer, even though it's kind of impractical because writers have to keep up their writing, and they have deadlines to meet and stuff like that, and I wouldn't be able to do that. But yeah, I would like to do that, or I would like to do LP for a living. That would be nice. But then I've said before in a previous video that I wouldn't like to make any money from it, so that would kind of be a kind of crap living of me not getting any money for what I did for a living, and it wouldn't be a living; it would be a hobby. I'll shut up, shall I? Yes, I'm going to be quiet now. Moving on to the next question. The Bobster 45123 asks, would you ever do a let's play of Dark Messiah Might and Magic? Yeah, as I've mentioned before, it was given to me by yeah, Bascus the Insane, and I played it and I really really enjoyed it, and I've actually tested the recording and it records, so I see no reason why I wouldn't do a let's play of it at some point. It's a nice little game that I could have a lot of fun with, so definitely, yeah. I'm not saying definitely, but more than likely Dark Messiah Might and Magic will appear on my channel at some point or other. Let's see, how much time do we got? Okay. Captain Green Bear, how did you come up with the name Verax, and did you fancy any other pseudonyms before that? The name Verax is part of the, as I've mentioned, I have written, or at least started, some stories and books and stuff, and Verax was a character in one of them. He's like a genetically engineered badass soldier that goes AWOL and in the end brings about the downfall of the entire world. And I just thought it was a really cool name, so I decided to adopt it for my internet pseudonym. Before that, it was actually Shard, a couple of years ago now, but yeah, just Shard, because that was the original name for Verax, but I changed it because Shard didn't really work. I mean, there was a reason behind the name, but because that reason changed in the plot of the story, the name didn't fit anymore, and so I changed it to something that sounded cool, and I like V's and X's, and yeah, Verax. It's a cool sounding name, so that's what I decided to do. That's what I decided to call myself. Alright, see you next video.